Podcast starts now. What's up, everyone around the world? This is StraightioLab. It is a cloudy...
Is it cloudy?
Oh, it's cloudy as hell. I mean, maybe it's my LA sensibility where, I see a little cloud now and I say, oh, God, it's cloudy. But I would argue it is cloudy outside.
What do you think of spring?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Least favorite season by
You
far.
think so?
Flop, loser. I think spring is a prison sentence.
Yeah.
I think it's edging in the worst way.
Mm-hmm.
I think you never feel joy until May. And I think, I remember just looking at the leaves and being like, go faster.
Yeah. Okay, here's my opinion. You and I, one of the things we have in common is that we're both summer girls, to quote Danielle Haim. And I think, and we come alive in the summer. We are both beachy. We both love a pool. We both love reading by a body of water. And of course, that part of me is still there.
You're getting choked up.
I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. More and more, the summer peak tourist season is like peaking more than it ever has, to the point where I'm afraid to do anything summery in the actual months of July and August. And that has actually forced me to start valuing late spring and early fall more.
I know exactly what you mean.
And it is confusing to me because when I now think of July and August, normally my favorite months, I'm feeling a sense of entrapment. I am feeling a sense of sort of like hope deferred, like it will never be what it once was. And wow. I have to start romanticizing late May, early June. And in fact, mid-September.
I say yes to mid-September.
Yeah.
Late May, early June, it's going to be chilly. Like, it's just like you can't be at a beach and be comfortable.
You think so?
I literally think so. Yes, sometimes you'll get like the off day, but like I have tried for years to be like summer starts June 1st, and I have been burned by being cold so many times because it doesn't start June 1st. It starts like June 30th, which is my birthday.
But don't you find that when you are planning something for peak summer months, I don't know, maybe I just need to like be more bold and be like, you know what, I am going to be one of the bodies that is crowding a Fire Island.
George, you cannot be afraid to take up space.
Really?
I think you really have to lean into. I hear you. Your desire to be alt is like pushing over your desire to have fun and be in a nice place, but you just have to. You know my theory on Mondays.
What is it?
That even if you're on vacation on a Monday, it's still a Monday and you can't break free from the Monday feeling.
And you're saying even if I'm on vacation in May, it's still May and I can't break free of the May feeling.
Literally.
Okay, so you're sort of following a more literal approach, a more formalist. It's like May is May.
July is Friday.
Men are men. Women are women.
That's not what I'm saying, George. That's not what I'm saying. July is Friday.
Yeah.
And you have to be like, well, it's Friday.
Right.
I'm going to the beach.
I guess.
You're not convinced?
What I'm bumping up against is like there are only so many months, and it really saddens me that we'll never get new ones. You know what I mean? I'm not getting what I want out of the existing months, and you would think in the world we're living in with so much innovation in the fields of science, technology, etc., you could invent a new month that is perfect and that it's both the perfect weather and not crowded.
George,
do you think
it exists?
What is it?
It's international travel.
Oh, you're saying, okay, go to Australia.
I'm literally saying go to Australia,
okay.
Go to South America, go to Mexico.
I see what you're saying.
Like, I think, this was what I was starting to feel in New York, where I was like, the way that summer, I need every waking second to be the best second of my life was starting to be problematic.
Right.
I couldn't sustain that. I was getting disappointed because some seconds were bad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, what if I started taking trips more? Which I didn't do. I didn't get to live up to that. I unfortunately, but it's still, I have the solution all planned out.
Okay. So it's
you gotta
spending money.
Well,
okay, so classically, you want something. What's the solution? Being able to afford it.
Quite literally.
All right. Should we bring in our guest?
Yeah, do the honors, please.
Okay, we are so excited to have him on. We haven't had a musician on in so long. What was the last one we had on?
You can't ask me
I
that.
can't even remember.
Have we ever had one on?
Oh my God. The first musician we've ever met, Liam Benzvi.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's great. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my God. We are so happy to have you. What do you think about the months?
Well, yeah, while I was listening, I was thinking about, there was like 1 year where I insisted on going to the beach immediately on June 1st, but it was very... like, I have an eating disorder. I need to like bike here every single day, or it was like very something's going on in my head. Like,
it was a
I'm
mental
dealing
illness.
with something.
Yeah.
So I haven't done that since.
Yeah.
But
I almost think the disappointment of the first beach day is like good to tamper down your expectation. It humbles you, and then you can enjoy summer. It's almost like an initiation ritual where like the first beach day has to be a little bit like, oh, wait, this is what we've been waiting. This is what we've been looking forward to. And then the second time you go, you're like, all right, I'll bring a book. It'll be fine.
You know what I did last year that was a huge mistake, which is why I feel so passionate about this now, is I did all my little trips in June. From June 1st to June 30th, I was doing little trips, and all of them were cloudy and bad. And it was like, of course, I shouldn't have tried to do them all in June. What was I thinking? Start in July.
are you the type of person that has something planned to do, or do you kind of revel in the nothing of vacation?
I revel in the nothing of vacation, I think.
It's me too.
Yeah. It's actually really stressful to me because now all the trips I've ever gone on have been like to Fire Island.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, we're being interrupted. I said I did not want this to happen. Thank you. Wow.
This is the best day of my life.
Thank you.
Oh my God, to have Blue Bottle coffee.
You. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Oh my God, cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Seriously, you guys.
Putting the iced coffee in the paper cup is a flex.
I actually want to know what you think about that. Because this is something I've noticed more and more. And I can't decide if I find it almost chic. There is something a little like businesswoman about it. Or if I find it to be absolutely morally abhorrent, because that doesn't go there.
It's kind of like a school uniform.
Yeah.
Like everybody the same.
Yeah. And then sometimes they'll put a straw inside the sippy cup.
Uh-huh. I'm kind of anti.
Your auntie?
I don't think these cups were made for this. And I think it's a poor reflection on the cups. It makes me feel like the cup is doing a bad job when really it's just not made for
Okay,
this.
so I'm noticing a pattern, I think, today with you, is that you think things are made for what they're made for, and you think there should be no experimentation, there should be no innovation. If someone, goes on vacation in May, or if someone puts iced coffee in a hot coffee cup, you are calling 911, and you are saying, thank God you are well-funded, because I need you here today.
I need you here ASAP. I think experimentation can happen. I think every coffee place should have a sense of play. I think this.
Yeah.
But that being said, once you experiment and you find out, like, oh, that didn't really work as well as I thought it would, then you go back. And then you say, okay, that was a fun little journey. I'll never go on vacation in June again.
But isn't sort of punk rock DIY culture kind of finding the beauty in the imperfect?
Oh my God. Literally, no, it's not.
What's the most punk month?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, this is... Fuck.
Wow.
All right, what is the most punk month?
Well, I think my brain jumps to a colder month, but I do think like October has Halloween, of course, and there's sort of the people put out decorations can be destroyed.
October is like Avril Lavigne being punk.
Well, I think she's valid.
Do you think Avril Lavigne is valid? Go.
As a punk?
Yeah. And
Or valid in general?
I think,
Yeah,
both.
I mean, I was a big head back in the day. My stepdad, a long time ago, worked at Good Morning America when I was a kid, and he would bring me to the 7 a.m. concerts.
Whoa.
So
That's
I got
huge.
to kind of make signs and meet
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
of my idols at the time, and she was one of them, and I got to make her sign. It was really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
But here's a question for you, because I also, of course, as a young gay kid, loved Avril Lavigne. But it was not allowed to you were not allowed to love Avril Lavigne.
Says who?
It was not. It was not cool. It's like,
Look who's conservative now.
The arbiters of cool.
Did you feel like you could openly love Avril Lavigne?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Because I felt like I was young enough.
Okay.
It was like Avril Lavigne. Well, it was okay for me to do that because I was also like a huge psycho obsessed with the Strokes person when I was younger.
Okay.
So I had that kind of like tipping the scale
You had
on
that
the
going
like
for you.
altness that I could fall back into Avril if I needed to.
You have every alt thing, every real alt thing you like. You collect Avril Lavigne coins, and you can spend them on Avril Lavigne fandom.
Exactly.
You do need to have a pillar of genuine cool, and then you're allowed to do silly.
That girl can sing.
Oh, I love Avril Lavigne.
sing.
I just remember at the time I was like, oh, this is because I have foreign parents and I don't have older siblings, so like I don't know where to. I have no context for anything. And I remember every musical artist I would then immediately find out they were considered lame. I'd be like, I love Simple Plan because I saw them on MTV, and I like love the video where they're like the ceiling is crumbling around them.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, that's the lamest band. That's like the one band you shouldn't like. Thoughts?
What are they listening to?
Yeah.
I think, okay, so here's what it was, and this is going to sound insane now. The cool kids were listening to Dave Matthews Band, and it was cool that they knew what that was.
That's so like Big Sister Sleepaway
That's what I was gonna
Exactly,
say.
exactly.
It's older sibling code.
It's literally bragging about having context for America. It's like, it's being like, you're an immigrant.
Yeah.
I like Dave Matthews Band. And there were, we didn't have Google. There was Google, but the idea that I would understand what Dave Matthews, like I could not by myself without help understand the significance of Dave Matthews Band.
Well, one thing that is a sort of not talked about is that like frat culture was cool for like middle school and high schoolers because you were like, that's what college kids like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there was like a value system of being like it was cool to like Dave Matthews and like OAR. Like I remember being like, oh, that would be awesome if I liked them, and but it didn't ever speak to me in a real way.
It really feels like I'm the camp counselor and you're the camper, and I like Dave Matthews and you like something else.
Yeah.
Look at my CD case.
Yeah, but I do think there must have been kids in your Jersey school that thought like Simple Plan was cool.
Not the cool ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's also because I think cool in a place like that is just rich.
Can I say something? No is the thing. I actually like. I wish it was that simple, but there was literally a hierarchy of cool, and I just couldn't crack it. Here's another example. First time I heard "My Immortal" by Evanescence, I said, "This girl has pipes. This is a great band." Come to find out, that was also illegal at my school. I just can't. It's like,
I'm curious what is legal?
Yeah, were you at a preppy school?
Yeah,
I was at a preppy school.
Okay. Then that makes sense.
But then the alt kids were somehow knowledgeable. Like even the kids that would have liked Evanescence were somehow knowledgeable enough to like Black Sabbath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like the sort of kind of like I was just fed whatever MTV was feeding me. I was immediately slopping up, and they were like, "God, how pedestrian."
There was this really interesting subculture when I was in high school of like kids that dressed like they were heavy metal. Like it like kind of verged into skater territory or punk territory, but it was very like David Lee Roth, like heavy metal, like pop metal band, but they like all rolled together and like had a harem of girls that were just kind of like, we're all losing our virginity tonight. Like it was so like, and I don't see that anymore.
I know.
Like now.
Are you plugged into youth culture?
I don't know. Ask me a question. I'm on TikTok. I like watch TikTok, but
I had a pretty jarring
What is the
experience.
Dave Matthews Band of now? What is the sort of older, what is the sort of like, the thing that your older sibling would introduce you to that would make you cool? You know what I mean?
Whoa.
I don't know, because now the internet is so prominent.
Yeah.
That's like less of a
that's true.
thing.
Yeah.
Older siblings don't gatekeep anymore.
Yeah,
we need to
that's
bring back the
true.
gatekeepers.
I mean, I've said this forever. Yeah.
Yeah, God. I don't know.
You're from New York, right?
Mhm.
So you were around, like, were you going to, shows.
I was dating a musician when I was in high school who was much older than me.
Ooh.
I know, it was scandalous.
Is he now a huge celebrity?
No. But I would go, I like learned a lot about how to be on stage from being like a roadie basically for this band. And I would go out all night and like do fun things that I wasn't supposed to do.
Were you doing that?
Yeah.
No, it's funny that that's just like true. Like when you grow up in New York, that's just like
it's
what
crazy.
happens. Is it
don't
like
know.
embarrassing when like you meet like a 23-year-old who just moved here who's like, I want to fucking go out? Because you're
No,
like, what
I
are
think
you,
it's cute.
12?
Exactly. But also, like, I went to college in Minneapolis. So
Really?
I did this kind of like personality 180 for 4 years and kind of like unlearned everything that I had like built up in New York for credibility. And then I moved back to New York immediately afterwards and had to unlearn my personality 180 and like and become who I was 4 years prior.
Did you specifically want to be in a non-New York environment?
Yeah. The tuition was super cheap, which was like the main reason. But I also was like, this is so random of me.
Yeah.
Like,
This is something I've
I'm
noticed.
stunting on all of my like cool friends
No, literally.
by like rebelling against this.
Much like the idea that Dave Matthews Band is cool, there's something about being a New York kid, and I've noticed that in many people I know who grew up in New York, where they almost fetishize like middle-class suburbia.
Totally.
Because it's like something, it's their version of someone not from New York watching, Harmony Korine's Kids or something. It's like, oh my God, they're doing what? They're going to malls?
No,
So
totally.
fucked.
Did it feel like a culture shock?
Yeah, but also I was so like head to toe black, like look at my Metro card, like kind of like
You were just,
such
like,
a snob
Constantly,
about it. Like the
Metro
first
card was like falling out of
fuck,
your
my
wallet.
Metro card.
yeah, like ooh, it just fell out. Like,
I use that to get around back where I'm from.
no, yeah, and I had like a mini fridge in my dorm that literally just had ginger ale and rum in it, and I would just have my friends over, and I would like pull up my iTunes library and like
Oh, I bet you had
entertain.
so many songs on that.
What
damn
was
library.
cool.
what was on the roster? What was on the iTunes library?
Gosh, I was so obsessed with Animal Collective
Ooh.
and Blonde Redhead, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so like stoner music, kind of
Yeah.
mostly.
God, indie rock in college.
I know.
No.
Nothing quite like it.
Wait, this is a hard pivot, but I'm almost like, before we do our first segment, do you want to like promote stuff now so that we can like get everyone listening? And then we do segments?
Well, sure, whatever you think, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put out a record in September.
Yeah.
Called "And His Splash Band." That
It's
was
so good.
Thank you. And that was really fun to make. And I toured it around, and now I'm mostly just writing
Well, and you
new
released the
stuff.
covers.
And I released the covers EP where I covered some of my favorite songs.
Have you listened to the Sabrina Carpenter cover?
No.
I covered
so
Sabrina.
Which
I
one?
met Sabrina later
my
that
God.
month too, which was really cool. I played this like Jack Antonoff benefit thing, and
He's dying.
It's a benefit
It
for
was
Jack
a benefit for
Antonoff.
Jack
They're raising
Antonoff.
money, yeah.
she's dying.
You guys, please donate. And that's what you're here to promote tonight. Please donate.
Please donate to
Jack
her.
Antonoff is
Jack Antonoff
not
is
doing well.
dying.
No.
That Lana album is not coming out.
I can hear the beeping of the hospital bed right now.
No, but I remember he did a really nice thing where he was like, Sabrina, like Liam covered you, and I kind of just usually when I'm kind of at a loss for words, I just say like, it's beautiful, like I say something like really earnest, like that that wouldn't have necessarily come naturally to me, but she was like, taste is beautiful, and I was like, yeah, I think it's a really beautiful song. She was like, I've never heard that before from anyone.
She's like, so you've never heard it?
Yeah.
She's like, so you're not listening.
And then
She's like, guards.
and then I pulled out.
I have an imposter.
No, yeah, I was like, it sounds like the Doobie Brothers to me, and that's what I said to her.
I mean,
and
that
she was
is-
like, yeah, and we like
Yeah.
talked about Michael McDonald. It was very weird,
Wow.
but it was cool.
That is
she's
weird.
she's really cool.
That's
I like
nice. I was wondering this actually. Like, what is your relationship to like I feel like the lines between like indie and like pop are more blurred these days. And like when you like how do you view like the pop girls?
I like the pop girls. I love Pink Pantheress. I love Ethel Cain.
Oh my God, we love that.
I love who I consider like I think Charlie's great. I think Sabrina's great. I think they're all cool. I think that there's like a freak factor drought in music right now. Like which is why like the Gaga record, like I like it. I love her because of her like talent. And I don't even like I wouldn't necessarily like love all her music, but I appreciate that she has the gall to like be so musical theater with like Abracadabra or something. And, and like no one else really has the gall necessarily. And like I just want a freak so bad.
It's tough because the Charlie did to an extent the like whole brat era could have ushered in a more freak forward pop landscape, but I actually sort of don't think it did. And I think everyone who attempted to emulate the brat thing, I mean, I'm immediately thinking of like Katy Perry trying to be
Camila Cabello
like it never felt quite authentic.
No.
Yeah.
Have you heard the new Selena Gomez song that's like a Charlie?
It's a Charlie song. Yeah,
Oh, really?
She wrote it.
Oh, she wrote
it.
Yeah,
but it's like so good.
Yeah. No, I'm glad Charlie's getting her flowers. I'm
Yeah.
sure, like lots of people have said that.
I watched like the end of her Coachella thing on the internet.
Oh yeah.
And it was so I was still like because you think you're gonna get like tired of it, and you're like, no, this is so fun. Like it's just like text being like, what am I doing? Should I still be doing brat? Is this embarrassing?
Oh really?
Yeah. And it was like I was like, this is great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catherine was saying she was like, it's good that the coolest person is a millennial. Like that's like oh wait, you know what I mean? It's like
I agree.
For now at least we have that.
Totally.
That's a really good point.
Okay, let's do our first segment. Our first segment is called Straight Shooters, and in this segment, we ask you a series of rapid-fire questions to gauge your familiarity with and complicity in straight culture.
Okay.
You have to choose one thing or another thing. You have to go with your gut, and the one rule is you can't ask any follow-up questions about how the game works, and if you do, we will be so angry with you.
I'm going to try my best.
Good.
George, you go first, though.
Okay. Speaking out or chasing clout?
Chasing clout.
Sloppy seconds or yesteryears?
Yesteryears.
Subway delays or birthday malaise?
Subway delays.
Living your truth or living in Duluth?
Living in Duluth.
St. Heim or my bestie Siam?
My bestie Siam, for sure.
Mine's similar. Coping mechanisms or hoping for orgasms?
Hoping for orgasms. Definitely.
Breaking up monopoly power or waking up aboard the Mayflower?
Wow.
Breaking up Monopoly.
Yes, that's right, Bernie at Coachella.
Wow.
Okay, we rank everyone's performance on a scale of 0 to 1,000 doves.
Blades of grass.
But now we've changed it to 0 to 1,000 blades of grass.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's catching on yet. I guess we'll see.
No, but I like that we're growing and changing.
It's very iconic to choose the single least discussed song on the album, Blades of Grass, all of, to make the name of our segment.
That's really fun.
Well, yes. What else would we do?
Okay,
Zombie Boys?
No,
that makes no
it's true.
sense.
I mean, there is something about 0 to 1,000 doves that really rolled off the tongue, but I'm getting used to Blades of Grass, and I also like the idea that we would give someone a gift of, here, you 700 blades of grass.
Yeah, there's something
1,000
nice
shadows of men.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh. Yeah.
Let's do, for this one, let's do 0 to 1,000 shadows of a man.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say 742 shadows of a man.
Can you?
Congratulations.
Okay, and I can't ask why.
No, now the game is over.
Okay.
Well, we
What did you
basically,
think?
I thought you did a great job. We rank it based on performance. It's basically
it's
a performance based.
Yeah.
I would say you were so confident and you were so like chill about it, and it was like you had done it before. I guess I would say it was almost like you were chill doming us in the sense that you were like not impressed with anything.
Yeah, you were
Wow.
like, okay.
Yeah, it was sort of like you were like, all right,
It went
second
too
one.
quick.
Yeah. Like I think sometimes we appreciate a little like
I'm in the practice or in the occupation of tokenizing myself as gay guy surrounded by straight band boys.
Totally.
So, I have to chill.
You haven't met
dom.
enough.
I have to be the chill dom.
I see.
That must be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your strategy for being the only gay guy in the room?
Sometimes, I feel like, actually most recently on this tour that I did, in Europe, I was touring with this band of straight guys, and they were all touring together, but I was touring by myself. So I truly would not have uttered a word to a single person on my travel day to arrive at the venue. And then I would get into the green room and I would be like, gab, 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 like not stop, like clown show.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where I end up in those situations.
So you were kind of going
I'm like
diva
entertainer. Mode. I do become diva, and I become kind of crass and sassy, and they love it. They love to hear it.
Yeah. You're smacking them on the ass.
I'm smacking them on the ass. I'm saying, "Show me your cock."
Oh yeah, fun stuff like that.
That's what we do
They
too.
love it.
Yeah,
They love
yeah.
it.
We do that at the iHeart offices every day.
Yeah, they love it.
No, totally. That hallway that you walk
the hallway
in
of hits.
to get here,
The tunnel of hits, actually.
Yeah.
If I was hungover,
No, it hurts. It hurts.
No, it's enough to make you turn around and walk back.
You have to be strong to get through.
yeah, cool.
Should we get into straight topics?
Yeah, I'm very curious what your straight topic
What is your straight topic, and what do you think is straight about it?
Okay, so I think hobbies that you do in public. I walking the streets of New York lately have been seeing a lot of yo-yos happening from amongst boys and men, and then more men more recently stunting on me with ball and cup. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like
Ball and cup is the old school style game
the Depression era wooden toy
where you
that
try to get a ball on a string into a cup.
into a cup, and they're just kind of casually like
Yeah.
talking to their friends with the ball and cup.
And these are how are they dressed?
They're dressed like, like wife beater, flannel, like skater
Wide-legged
boy.
pants.
Wide-legged pants, or it's kind of more on like the metro, like espresso cup, skateboard, earring thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
sort of like sceney, could be located in any major American or European city.
Yeah, it's like if
Menswear.
it's like an offshoot of like Beyblades, but like,
Right.
They're listening.
it's like
Well,
I don't want to give that up yet.
That's the big thing, is that it is like fidgeting for the last decade has been huge.
Yeah.
Like Beyblades, the fidget spinners.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's been very cool to have a little toy with you.
Yeah.
If you were like 12, 10 years ago, and now you're 22, and you're like cool, and you're like, well, I still got to play with my toy.
No, exactly. I still need to play with my toy, and I can't give you my full attention.
Yeah.
This is such a rich topic because it's the intersection of so much stuff around the crisis in masculinity. So on the one hand, we have the return to analog. It's a sort of vinyl resurgence adjacent type thing. Like, of course, I'm going to play with wooden toys rather than an iPhone app. So there's that. Then there is a sort of, I'm sorry to say this, but a sort of performance of autism that I find is like conscious among men who almost like want to show you how little they care.
Totally.
So they're just like, it's almost an extension of like the businessman having a little basketball hoop in his office and doing that while
sure.
he's in a meeting with a woman.
Yeah.
but it's the contemporary skater version of that. Then there is the kind of semi-ironic back to baby movement, which is like grown men in their 30s dressing and acting like babies, almost as a way to like reject. It's almost like a response to, frankly, like wokeness. It's like, rather than caring about the election, I'm in a crib.
Yeah.
Like, I am literally like, I'm wearing clothes that do not fit me, and I'm like walking in the middle of the street because I just like don't really, I'm not gonna go on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I'm playing with a toy for babies.
Do you think that it's about being seen though, like about others, or is that gay?
Well, that's the thing, is like it is about being seen, but you don't have the courage to do something to be a diva. You don't have the courage to like walk into a room and start belting.
You know what would be really gay is if like they were just like dragging the ball behind them and it wasn't going in the cup.
And their dad was like, play with it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
That would
be
be the
really
future.
cool.
I think there's also something where it is like, you're trying to show that you're part of the group. Like, that's part of it too, where you're like, I remember like hacky sack culture and really sort of wanting to be like, well, maybe I could be into hacky sack culture. Like, I could immediately have 4 friends if I just were into this a little bit.
Totally.
And so it's like a quick way into friendship.
Yeah.
That obviously is a little bit sad, but at the same time, it's, it's better than no way into friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby performance.
Baby performance. There's also, it's like, all of it comes down to like, can you believe I'm doing this? You know what I mean?
Okay. I wonder how you'll feel about this as someone in sort of music indie circles, where I feel like that's such a thing, though, is to like have a thing that is like, oh, that's like blah blah blah, he blows bubbles all the time, like, and it's like, I remember those guys, like I'd meet guys that were like, oh, he like dresses like that.
I know.
And you like have to have a thing.
It used to be like heroin.
Totally.
Which would have been like actually cool.
Yeah, now it's matcha.
No, exactly. No, yeah.
No, it does. It almost, it's like the character in The Princess Diaries, the love interest who plays the piano and there's M&Ms on it. You know what I mean? It's very, or it's like Zachary Quinto in Girls, where he just has a toothbrush in his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
No, totally.
Huh.
I love it. I love that it is kind of deeply antisocial, though,
Yes, it's
in a
deeply
way.
antisocial. And it's just like another way. It's like another fuck you. It's actually like the same as a businessman being on his phone doing emails, but you're just doing the alt version of that.
No, totally. I talk about this with my therapist a lot, where I want to be like more cavalier and I kind of associate like walking around with a toothbrush in your mouth to be cavalier and kind of eccentric and crazy.
Of course, totally.
And I've always wanted to be more of that.
No,
and be watch like old Courtney Love interviews and stuff and be like, well, she's like one of the smartest people in the world, but like she just like stuff like that, and pick something that is my thing.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
But I wonder, where is the line between, when you see Courtney Love doing that, it's so incredible and seems so authentic, and when you see a guy in Dime Square that's like yo-yoing, you're like, I want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
And what is it that like, what is the difference? I mean, other than, whatever one is.
I think a lot of them are rich kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're rich, it's your responsibility to flaunt it and be like a dandy, like a fancy guy, you know? And if you're not a fancy guy, then you don't deserve to be a fancy guy. Like, it's like
totally.
Like, why are you playing with a wooden toy? Like,
Right.
Right, you should be like in a 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
And a pipe.
Yeah.
Totally. Like, I would be so...
And under tipping away.
That, like, weird, like, haberdashery, like, culture. Like, I think
so
that's kind of cooler than...
Okay, thank you for bringing a class analysis into it. No, because that is true. Because you don't... It is like a... There is something about those guys where, regardless of how disheveled they look, they are ultimately weirdly wearing, like, Supreme.
Yeah.
Like, they are actually wearing expensive clothing.
Well, this is something I'm struggling with in general.
Yeah.
Where the more I'm like around in the world, like I kind of thought everybody was on the same page, and now I'm like, oh, nobody's on the same.
Nobody's
page.
on the same page. The culture has never been more fractured.
And like literally the price of people's clothes.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, everybody's doing exactly the same as me, and it's like not even close.
totally.
Like that random T-shirt is $300.
Yeah.
And like, I had no idea, and they're like, well, yeah. Like, of course, and they think that's normal. It's freaking me out.
Yes, but then there's also like the other side of that, which is almost like bragging about how you have a bunch of expensive stuff that you didn't pay for because you are plugged into communities where that stuff gets passed around.
Yeah.
And actually, the ability to know the difference is also this in-group dynamic of like the contemporary version of like woman of like quiet luxury versus loud wealth.
Do you still see people in your orbit ever like thank a brand for giving them things
if anything,
when you
it's-
know like they bought it?
Oh, that I've never
seen
even
that.
considered. I've never even considered that.
I think
I'm so
that's
gullible.
kind of cool.
Do
Actually,
you think people are doing that, but even though they bought it?
No,
so that they can get more?
I have to say, no one that we know.
Okay, good.
I have to
I've
say.
always wanted to do that as a bit, and I'm literally terrified that some people will take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think what I like buying something that you would like even just like Starbucks or something stupid, and then being like, thank you, je t'aime Starbucks. But I'm just like terrified at this point that one person would think I was serious.
Well, do you want to try it for Blue Bottle
let's
Coffee?
do
Yeah,
Blue
should
Bottle
try
Coffee.
it.
Thanks, Blue Bottle. Without you, I couldn't podcast.
What brand would you like to send you free stuff?
Yeah, shoot your
Probably
shot.
like a nice sunscreen.
Oh,
something.
that's so
Okay,
tasteful.
you gotta aim higher.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. Head to toe Gucci.
Yeah. Gucci.
Okay, great, Gucci. So either sunscreen or Gucci.
Yeah.
Ideally
Something.
both. Why limit yourself?
Or like coffee. Actually, coffee.
That would be nice.
so
I mean,
nice.
I've always fetishized the concept of a lifetime supply of something.
Of course.
Well, I have too, but I have always gotten caught up in sort of what that means legally.
Sure. Well, also then the way it's taxed, I don't even want to look
I
into.
don't even want to know.
It's like
about
winning
that.
the lottery.
No,
Where
totally.
suddenly you're actually like more poor than you've ever
Yeah,
been.
now I'm.
And also being sued by 4 people.
Did you ever watch Celebrity Big Brother UK with Pete Burns and Dennis Rodman?
No.
That season. It's like high art. It's like incredible. And there's this, they like make you ration your food on that show. Like you have to like win challenges in order to like get fed in this
Whoa.
way.
Oh my
It's really dark. But they all as a house decided that they wanted to forfeit the food in exchange for coffee and cigarettes. And that was like the coolest thing I've ever seen on TV. And it's like them in the interview room being like, all we want is coffee and cigarettes. Like, get rid of everything else.
That's
know,
awesome.
And that's what I want.
say,
My
it's
lifetime
also-
supply.
Sometimes I bump up against this idea that reality TV is high art because it's like such a classic thing where people are like, Real Housewives is Shakespeare. And I'm like, no, it's not. And then you hear things like that and you're like, it is.
No,
Like,
well,
this is sort of what...
But those seasons, they have like, there was like a member of parliament on it. And
Yeah.
like there
Well,
was
there's-
like,
yeah.
it's like, there's like an old person, a young person, a da-da-da-da. Like it feels very like surreal and weird.
I want to go back to the idea of having a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever had a thing?
Ooh.
A thing. I used to imitate Mariah Carey for money in my after-school program when I was a kid.
When you say for money,
Before my voice had changed.
but in the after school. So what was
Like
the after
whistle
school
tones?
program?
Like I would fully do the like head voice, like, and I was good. I
Yeah.
could do it.
Whoa.
And they would give me like 50 cents. It was like busking.
It was during the Depression.
Yeah. But I don't know a thing.
Like a passive thing.
yeah. I'm trying to think.
I feel like in college I kept trying to have a thing. Like,
What were the things you tried?
well, I like I had these like insane bright red shoes, and I was like, that's my thing. Is I'm like the guy with red shoes.
Well, you went through a phase, which I'm noticing is less so now, where you were really leaning into cowboy look, and that was your thing. Cowboy boots,
cool.
Wrangler.
Yeah, I mean, I'm finding a happy medium with the cowboy thing.
This is the most like 2010s American Apparel thing, but when I was in college, I was like, my thing will be like bright colored cords that I'm like corduroys, and like I will have like a bright blue one, a like sort of like burgundy one, a bright red one, a bright yellow one, and I bought a bunch, and then like a month later I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I can't commit to this. Like I was just like, I don't have, and I bumped into the fact that it would be then very difficult to style them with anything.
Totally.
So I was like, I looked like completely insane and was wearing.
Well, no,
like,
the great thing about like loud pants is that everything else can be like
I know,
really plain.
but I like didn't plan for that. So I just had like t-shirts that were like from, Urban Outfitters, and they said like pugs, not drugs.
Oh God.
Yeah. Talk about Minneapolis.
I know. I definitely wanted to be like, my thing is that every day I have a funny T-shirt.
Yes.
But that was like high school.
Of course,
Totally.
of course.
But that's normal.
Yeah, of course.
I remember when I was in middle school and still in New Jersey, I was obsessed with. I didn't have the courage to do this, but I was like, I wish I could pull off a bandana, like boy band style. Like I was just like, what if I just can put on a white bandana or like a green bandana and come to school?
You could have just done it. Yeah. It's hard.
But it again, difficult to style.
Well, everything else, that's the thing. It's like you pick one
I know.
kooky thing and then everything else can be drab.
You know what you also forget when you're a kid is like, because you don't have control of like how you're getting places and you don't have your own money, it's like what you're saying, like, oh yeah, just buy a bunch of basics. It's like, that's a months-long project.
No, totally.
That is like multiple trips to the mall, like asking your parents,
Being like, I
your
really want
allowance,
this.
I really want this.
And then being like, you're going to wear a bandana?
If you get an A minus, then maybe, like...
I feel like I was very like crossbody bag before it was like a thing.
Yeah.
And I was also victim to like chunky heel, like chunky heel shoe, like but like keep it leisure thing. I was like very much like all my shoes are gonna look like that, like Skechers like thing.
Yeah.
But
have you ever tried to pull off like overalls?
Of course. You don't remember my overalls?
Oh,
era?
you do. You could pull them off. See, that's exactly the kind of thing I could never pull off. Or like,
see, the thing is, having a thing is so much easier in New York.
Yeah.
I could try so many things here, and people would be like, "Yeah, he's trying a thing." In LA, if you try a thing, people are like, "What does this say about you?" They're like, "Why would you do that?" And
that's so funny because in LA, my image of like walking around Silver Lake is like you see a couple, and the man is like 50 years old and wearing Vans, and the woman is full rockabilly and like 25, and you just like can't question it.
It's crazy how the like bohemian like safari desert thing has still not died there.
No.
It's so haberdashery.
Well, that's the thing. New York versus LA is one of our favorite topics, but
it's essentially what this podcast is
the thing with
about.
LA is like, on the one hand, it is, you would think, on the cutting edge of culture since they are producing all the culture that everyone else is consuming. On the other hand, you go there and it's still 2007.
No, fully.
Yeah.
Big hat.
Yeah.
The big hats are everywhere. That's because New York is trying to impress New York, LA is trying to impress the Midwest.
Wow.
So they can't be too edgy or they'll alienate the base.
That's true. Alienate the base.
No, that's so true.
I find it very upsetting. Even because, here, when you see someone who's dressed like really normal, you're like, well, they're doing that on purpose. There's like a knowledge there. And there you're like, they don't know. They just don't know. God, it's so nice to be here and just be able to shit talk.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Yo-Yos.
Okay. And fidgeting.
Yeah, fidgeting. Are you a fidgeter?
For sure. I'm like a nail biter.
Oh.
Yeah. I recently was like really, really trying not to. But I recently relapsed.
Oh no. How'd that go for you?
I was watching a movie and I just suddenly they were gone.
And it was a real nail biter.
Yeah. Yeah, a great thing you can do about that, be on your phone as well.
Yeah.
And then you won't be biting your nails.
That's true.
Well, this is where when it comes to back to gay v straight, of course, is that straight guys are playing wooden cup game, whereas gay guys are looking for sex on their phone.
Yeah.
But I actually think the wooden cup game is better. Like,
No, I fully
would
agree.
love to reclaim wooden cup game and yo-yo in a different context.
Well, as you know, the premise of this podcast isn't that gay is better than straight.
Of course.
Sometimes it's that straight is better than gay. I actually would love to play wooden cup game rather than be on sniffies looking at random dicks.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we need to invent a new fidgeting thing that's sort of like specifically targeted towards gay guys and maybe even the entire LGBTQ plus community. And I wonder what that would be.
Imagine if, so whenever we go out of town for a show, imagine if instead of sitting in the hotel room for 3 hours looking at the various apps, we were playing cup game. We would be so good at cup game.
What about like de-stressor, like the balls with the bells in them, where you like, you know what I mean, or like a squeezer,
or one of those things that's like full of blue liquid and little dolphins.
Yeah,
oh my God,
We should bring those back.
We should bring those back. I've actually
That's the most. It's like we're not on sniffies, but we're just doing this. We're just jerking off a dolphin.
That's actually an amazing idea. And talk about a thing.
Yeah.
Imagine if that was my thing.
Oh,
People would be so impressed.
Big that is definitely the gay version of having a yo-yo in a nice
definitely.
square. Is you having those like the gayest glittery, they're like leaking, just like glittery blue liquid and little like beach balls and dolphins flying everywhere.
That would be so
That'd be
great.
really cool.
Oh my God. I've actually recently
Wait, it's vapes.
Oh, it's vapes. It's definitely vapes.
Yeah.
And also for a certain subset, I know this is also on the phone, but for a certain subset, it's like New York Times games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's Wordle, it's crossword puzzle. That's a big, yeah.
In many ways, it's reading a book.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like,
That's his thing.
Instead of 3 hours on an app, I could just read a book and like get pretty far. That realization has only hit me in the last year.
Yeah.
I know. It's sort of crazy that all you have to do is put your phone in a different room and you could read a book.
You could read a whole book.
Yeah.
And you'll feel better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm jealous of you for, and people that are like artists that are not writers, or I mean, I know you're also a writer, but like artists that are not like primarily like
Got
writing
your
in a
ass.
Google Doc.
You know what I love about dummies like you?
No, it's like, because I know friends who are, to be a musician, to be a painter, to be a sculptor, you literally have to use your hands for what you are doing.
Totally.
And can you imagine if we had that luxury? Like, to wake up every day and be a painter and be like, I literally cannot pick up my phone.
No, that would be nice.
Or I'm in the studio, as I know there's some downtime, but like I'm in the studio recording, and so I have to have my guitar on me.
You essentially, it's like how I feel when I eat a burrito. I'm like, well,
All we have is eating a burrito. Do you understand?
it's like at least
like
I can't be touching my phone.
10
directly.
sacred minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's nice, but also like most of my time is spent like head in the clouds, like walking around, like writing in my head, kind of thing.
Do you ban yourself from, like, do you take walks that are like no tech?
Yeah. Sometimes.
I think that's a big thing.
Totally.
That we should maybe try out at some point.
I should try it out.
You know James Cherry?
Yeah.
He recently he recently posted, like, he bought a laptop and he was like, it's crazy to like, you guys are not going to believe this, but this is sort of the first laptop I've ever bought. Because he was just like, yeah, I am an artist that works with my hands. When I went to college, I went to art school, presumably. I'm not sure. It's like the default of like you wake up, you're on a laptop has never existed for him.
Right, because
And
also like if he needs an email, he can use his phone.
Exactly.
That's interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, just something to think about.
Did you ever have like the little phone, like when people kind of were regressing on purpose and getting like
dumb
little
phone?
Nokia, like
That's the thing. It's like I don't have much like the not having the courage to wear a bandana. I'm like
that's a thing.
Yeah, like I exist in the state of desire for the better thing, but I would never actually take the step to get there. Would you ever get a dumb phone?
No. No way. I also like the convenience of just like a map is real.
Yeah.
No, totally.
unfortunately.
That's like so much of it.
But that's the thing. There's phones that have texting and map.
I'm not buying it. I've never seen one of these phones in my damn life. It's like, it's too hard. I mean, I actually think it's bad for you.
Yeah.
This is here's a hot take. I think it's bad when people are like, I'm checking out of everything and I'm living this life. Like, I'm like when Lorde was like, I don't use social media anymore. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to lose touch with what society is. Like,
I don't think she has.
I think she did lose touch, and I think she's back and she's in touch again.
You think she lost touch with solar power?
Well, as a solar power stan, yes, I think she lost touch. And I think it was an important part of her journey, but I think she lost touch.
I see what you're saying. You're saying her commentary on, sort of like Pilates and being California sober did not feel of its time.
No.
Everybody's line about that record is, it will age well. That's what I hear every gay guy say, but it will age well.
I think it will age well.
Where do you stand on it?
I think I kind of agree.
I agree too, because I think that the issue was at the time no one wanted that kind of social commentary because that's not quote unquote where we were at. But at some point that just becomes universal. Like it just becomes like a general, those themes exist in and out of culture forever.
Yeah.
Like Ray of Light happened to come out at the exact right time for that to resonate. But what if Ray of Light had come out in 2003? Post 9/11? I don't think that would have worked.
Well, for the record, I've always supported solar power.
Yeah.
I just think, I do think she was just disconnected.
Yeah.
Like, and that maybe was great for her individually, but as someone trying to comment on society, is complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
So have you met Lorde, or
I have.
was she nice, or
She's great. So nice.
was it pre or post solar power?
Post.
Did you say
Did you say it's going to age well?
It's going to age well?
You know what? I said that to her, and she said, "Thank you for saying that to me. I needed that."
That's nice. That's nice.
I do love that. That's the that should start.
You met her at Jack Antonoff's hospital
Jack
bed.
Antonoff's hospital bed. She's in tears. She's like, Jack. That's my New Zealand accent. Well, should we do our final segment?
Is it time?
We don't have to.
No, we can. Well, I feel like it's that thing of like when you say it,
But we're
you
having
have
so
to.
much fun.
I know. I'm having a lot of fun. But I also want to like gossip in a way that we
Yeah,
can't
that we can't
on air.
online.
I keep wanting to ask you things that I know I shouldn't.
Ooh, try.
No.
Come on, he told us about Lorde.
Yeah.
He's down to spill.
Told us Jack's sick.
Okay.
Jack's been keeping that tight.
Okay. Give us all the music industry gossip.
Oh my god.
When's the Sky Ferreira album coming?
I have no idea. I don't know that much gossip about it. I wish that I knew more. I don't know.
Who is the biggest bitch in music?
And you can't say Katy Perry.
No, I love that she's saying "What a wonderful world in space."
And not What a Woman's World.
That's deeply antisocial behavior.
It is crazy. Do you find that the space thing is like so many layers of evil that you like can't even wrap your mind
There's
around?
so
I can't
much
even
I
say
can't wrap my
I
mind
can't even
around.
say a sentence that like could wrap up my feelings about it.
It's so like gratuitous in
It's
every way.
so gratuitous. I like feel bad for the people involved. I feel, even though they like willingly, I'm just like, this is all horrible.
Yeah.
And even the gratuitousness seems almost like the point. It's almost like they all know it is and they're skipping the part where they pretend it isn't.
It would have been better if they were up there for longer.
I know.
If it was like a day.
9 months.
Or
by the way,
several months.
all you would have
it was
to
a
do
real
is-
mission.
All you would have to do is like add a
Yeah.
little charity element. Just be like, and
Exactly.
And we're bringing a Make-A-Wish kid. We're bringing Jack Antonoff
No.
with us, who's dying. His final wish was to go to space with Katy
with
Perry.
women.
Yeah, he's. Oh my God, that is so Jack Antonoff to be like, I love women and women artists like Katy Perry, and I want to go to space with Gayle King and Katy Perry. This is my final wish. I am dying of, synthesizer disease.
Yeah.
and it is time for me to have my final wish.
That would have been so amazing. And we could have saved him.
And we could have saved him. Yeah, it could have been an Interstellar scenario where he comes
disease.
back and he's 12 years old. Yeah.
I can't. It's so funny.
Okay, we have to tell you about Lizzo's Pass. Lizzo's Pass is a concept Sam came up with where when an up-and-coming musical artist is at the pass where she has to decide between going Pitchfork and going Target. So it's named after Lizzo, who chose Target. She was an up-and-coming artist. People forget she was very cool, like super like
touring
indie girl.
with Sleater Kinney.
Yeah, touring with Sleater Kinney.
Yeah.
She chose Target. Chappell Roan is currently at the pass, and she's delayed making a decision, but we support whatever.
We're scared, but
She's
we
delayed.
support
But,
whatever.
and I would support either one. Haim chose Pitchfork. Twigs chose Pitchfork.
Lord chose Pitchfork.
Lord chose Pitchfork. Who's someone who chose Target?
Tate McRae.
Tate McRae,
Yeah, but it's like, was she ever at the
She
pass?
was never at the pass. She was never at the pass.
Anyway, the point is, if
Honey, she's never even been to the pass. Oh, Tate McRae?
do you feel like you're at the pass? Do you feel like you've been at the pass, or do you think it's coming for you?
Are you scared of the pass?
I've been at the pass.
You've been at the
Really?
pass.
Tell us about the pass.
Or no, I've not been at the pass. I've just like, I feel, I don't know. This sounds kind of like trite because there's lots of things going on in the world that
Name
are
one.
horrible.
Yeah.
I can't think of
But,
anything.
I still think there's a lot of homophobia in music in a way of where like gay guys don't want to see other gay guys succeed.
Yes, I agree.
And there's a lot of gatekeeping in this funny kind of way. Where like I've been doing this for a long time and I'm going to keep doing it because it's like lifeblood. But I feel like, I don't know, like it's, I talk about this with like a lot of my like gay guy musician friends where we're all kind of in this like funny situation where we're like doing like these like songwritery things or whatever, but then you still just have like Alex G and like MJ Lenderman, and they just like dominate the like genius boy thing.
Yeah.
And like that's cool. Like they're great. They're really good. But we wanna throw it back for some gay guy one day.
So it's like, I never considered that.
Gay guys have to choose Pitchfork.
Exactly.
Is what I'm saying.
This is so
it's forced
interesting.
upon them.
Yeah, because I mean, who was the last gay guy to choose Target? Elton John.
Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert
Adam
Lambert chose Target.
And
That's
even
true.
then, Target kind of was like, you can go in the clearance aisle.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're not putting him right in the front with the Oprah's book club selection.
No. The Taylor Swift CD is on top
Well,
of his
Troye
CD.
Sivan is kind of.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's getting close, but it's
I
also
think
like
he's,
in our bubble still. Like I feel like in our bubble he's a big pop star, but in like does my mom know who Troye Sivan is?
Sam Smith
Sam Smith
chose Target.
chose Target.
Yeah, Sam Smith chose Target,
Chose
and
Target.
that's just that. Perfume Genius chose Pitchfork,
Yeah.
but in an empowered way.
Yes. Absolutely.
But I think it's interesting. The gatekeeping of it all is interesting. What you're saying, it's like you can be as a gay guy at the pass, and you can see Pitchfork on one end, and you can see Target on the other end. But there is this like music exec guy that is in front of the Target and is like, "Do you have your ID?"
yeah.
And then sort of like you're in a dream where you can't find your ID anywhere. It's like not in any of your pockets.
Wow. I would hate to be at Lizzo's pass and not have my ID.
Yeah.
Lizzo's pass is so funny.
Our guest yesterday, Doreen St. Felix, was saying that potentially there's a world in which you could visit Target, but then be like, all right, I've like
Kim
done-
Petras.
Yes,
Exactly.
That's a great example. And then like go back and be like, and now, all right, that was fun. I visited Target. Time to go Pitchfork.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm very excited for what she does next.
I agree.
I have friends that have been working with her. I'm excited about it.
She always keeps us on our toes.
She does.
I really like.
And I think people really want to discount her.
Yeah.
And-
They really do. People are actually so cruel to her.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
no reason.
Well. But I'm on her side, is what I'm saying. I will follow her.
Yeah, I will follow her as well.
Yeah.
What if Bjork chose Target?
Then it'd be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
She
honestly,
almost, when she wrote the Madonna song, that was like the most Target she could possibly get. But it was like
Bedtime
still,
Stories?
Yeah, Bedtime Stories. But that was still so Pitchfork.
I know.
It was
I
so
think the most
Pitchfork.
Target she went was
Doing
the
Oscars? No.
No. The You Blow a Fuse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so
It's also quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like
It was like hokey.
No, that was pretty. Yeah,
That was so like Christmas time.
it was so Christmas time. But don't you think
Yeah.
that was like a commentary on a show tune? It was like,
Well, it's her
so-
being like freaky deaky.
Yes,
but,
yes,
like,
yes.
But still, it's like I remember when that was like the ad for like Sex in the City,
Yes.
Oh.
and like Sarah Jessica Parker's like with the big like the red balloons and stuff.
Speaking of, I think you know who really was at Pitchfork and chose Target is Jessie Ware,
Oh yeah,
because that one album that I'm forgetting the name of, the
disco
one,
Yeah.
that was so Pitchfork. Everyone was like, "This is so fun," and then the follow up.
but then she was like, I have a tour to sell.
yeah,
Yeah, and a podcast.
The follow up to
Yeah.
that was then like Pearls was like the and just like that song, and it was like
That was sad.
that was a bummer.
And now she's just like she has like a mommy podcast.
Yes, it's literally a podcast.
Like
Do
what
you know
it's
about
like,
this?
like
No.
what it's like being a mommy.
But it's her and her mom, and the premise is that they're eating dinner and with a guest.
Do you get to hear all the like?
Yeah, there was also
Oh
video.
no!
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of funny.
Oh god,
I saw her at Coachella 2012.
how was it?
She was great.
She's really,
I was front row
she's
because
cool.
no one else knew about her.
No, she is great. I went to one of the 2022 shows or
Yeah.
whatever, and it was
Oh,
so
nice.
fun.
She was great. And she was being so British. It was just like, I mean, it was obviously at 2 p.m. because she was not like one of the headliners at the time. And it was just like her, and there was a stool that had a mug of tea on it. Like you could see the tea bag.
That's cool.
And she would just like take a sip of tea and then do,
Well, talk about having a thing. That's another.
Yeah.
Musicians
See?
love to have like a
Ooh, musicians love to have a thing.
Like
the-
in your rider.
yeah, or like even like the guy from the National always has a glass of red wine on stage, or like you know
Yeah.
like there's like always
That's
that thing.
That is some straight shit that I cannot deal with. The like,
yeah.
Keep going, keep going.
I mean, I'm just like, I don't know why you saying the National was just like
Triggering.
like,
I mean, the words
Like
the
a
National
glitch.
are triggering. It's just, in regard, even if you are a fan of the National, which I think they have some great songs,
Of course.
to hear about the National is triggering.
Yeah, it implies a culture.
Yeah, it's so.
it's just like I think it's because I see like how men age in music, like how all of them kind of just go to like blazer town. Like they all kind of just like suddenly it's just like I have to own a blazer and I have to wear it on stage and I have to like not shave as much. Although I mean like sometimes that's cool like in a Serge Gainsbourg-y kind of way,
Yeah,
or, like,
yeah.
where you're like unkempt and it's a part of it, but he's kind of like an honor. I mean, well, he's French, so it doesn't. That's
it changes
different. That's
things.
completely different. But
I do want. This is actually a great idea for just like a long magazine feature. That's just like checking in on all the men of the 2012 Pitchfork era, like David
real
Longstreth,
estate and like
yeah, and like
dirty projectors.
Dirty Projectors, even like Bon Iver, like just like where are they? What did they look like then, and what do they look like now? Because that is sort of there is a Pitchfork versus Target of fashion. as
Well,
a
it's
straight
Blazer
man.
Town.
It's
It's
either
Blazertown.
it's Blazertown or hype Blazer or Hype Beast. I think are the two options. Don't you think?
Whoa.
Who's hype beast? That's
I do
old.
think Bon Iver. I recently saw some video of him where he's wearing like a bright orange hoodie. I was
That's like
oh.
in a Wisconsin way.
Oh, okay.
and he's also like really, really rich.
Yes,
And
yeah.
that's like rich man drag, where
Yeah.
you're like hoodie, sweatpants, like leisure.
yeah.
For some reason, I'm standing Bon Iver right now.
I know.
So
well,
I'm like,
everyone is. It's
I'm like defending him.
I haven't listened to the new.
Everyone
music.
says it's great.
fun.
People-
It's going to age really well.
It's gonna
Okay.
age really, really well.
Yeah. When though? That's the
right.
question. What year?
Oh, I'm popping
What year
on
is
solar
gonna?
power
What year
all the
will
damn
need solar
time.
power really bad?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
This summer, solar power is solar power summer. I'm calling.
It's not. But
Like it'll make a comeback like Frou Frou.
yeah,
Or like,
Murder on the Dance Floor.
Oh yeah, where it's in a movie.
Yes, exactly. By the way, I think it should make a comeback a la Murder on the Dance Floor is "Feel So Good" by Sonique.
Is that not bad? I feel like
feel like
that's
that came
been
back.
Did it? Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not on TikTok.
no, not even TikTok.
Oh,
just
like-
like it's like you hear it.
You hear it?
You
Okay,
hear it,
great.
Yeah.
As long as you're hearing it, my work is done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I think we can do our final.
Okay,
seg.
let's do our final
Okay.
segment.
Okay, so our final segment is called Shoutouts, and in this segment we pay homage to the grand straight tradition of the radio shoutout, shouting out to anything that we enjoy, people, places, things, ideas.
And we think of them on the spot, which is why we're both contemplating.
Which is why we are both contemplating.
Oh, God. What will it be?
And what I'm struggling with is like, I wish I had a good one.
I know. Oh, right. Totally. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm struggling with as well.
Because, sometimes I'm okay with being like, whatever, I'm just thinking of something.
No. I want to end with a bang. I want to end with a bang.
Substance.
I know. I want substance too.
And yet I don't have it.
What's up, freaks and losers? I want to give a shout out to substance. That's right. Saying something and having it have gravity, having it have meaning, and having it have lasting power. Much like Lord Solar Power, saying something that will age well because it's not directly commenting on the culture of the time, it's not a response to something, and it's not reactive. It is something that is a fully formed idea that is ahead of its time, and that is going to, at some point, create a paradigm shift that will then lead to more substance. And in that sense, it's also generative. So shout out to, if you open your mouth, try to say something with substance rather than without substance. Woo!
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one.
Okay, go.
What's up, freak losers and perverts around the globe? I want to give a huge shout out to my physical therapist. I have been doing physical therapy for my back, and this woman knows my body more than anyone on earth. I'm learning stretches that you wouldn't even believe, and guess what? They are effective. And I'm saying, why aren't we taught this? Open our schools. We need to learn how to stretch properly. Did you know when you bend down to reach your toes, I've been doing it wrong my whole life? And you're like, how can you bend down wrong? It's possible. I was bending from my back and not from my pelvis. And guess what? I've never been able to touch my toes, and that's why. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, I think when we are more in touch with our bodies, we will finally be free and living in Lord's solar power universe.
Wow.
So shout out to my physical therapist. I love you. XOXO. Sam. Woo!
Hi, freaks. I want to shout out the autoplay feature on television streaming because I need to just leave the TV on for my dog when I leave, so that he doesn't have a panic attack. And then one other thing. This is truly in the moment, as you can tell, because it's dull. But speaking of physical therapy, I want to shout out to the guy in my yoga class that left in the middle and said, "This is too hard," to the class.
I love
that. Bravery.
Yeah.
That's like freak behavior. That's really cool.
That's cool. Shout out.
Yeah.
Was he gay or straight?
Straight.
See, I love that.
No, that's
being
cool.
able to admit defeat.
Was it hot yoga?
Hot yoga.
Yeah.
Sometimes they turn it way
Sometimes
too
there's
hot.
panic there.
There's panic. I don't know if it's actually healthy for you.
Yeah, I question it as well. But I've definitely wanted to run out before. Did the teacher get mad? I feel like they always say, like, and whatever you do, don't leave
the room.
If you're, just lay down.
Yeah. No, she didn't comment on it.
Wow.
I know.
Hello, police.
Yeah.
He's now dead.
And she was pregnant.
The teacher was pregnant?
The teacher was pregnant. Baby gonna
Be hot.
Oh
Let's
my
just say
God.
that.
Is that safe for... Not to police pregnant women's bodies, but get out of there.
No, yoga worms is like a different thing entirely.
Yeah.
Shout out yoga worms.
Yeah, shout out yoga worms.
Yeah.
You guys did that.
You did that. You ate. Well, thanks so much for doing the pod.
Thank you for having me.
And once again, please tell people.
Yeah, listen to my record and his splash band. And I'm cooking right now, so stay tuned.
Ooh,
yeah.
She's cooking.
She's cooking.
Okay.
See you at Jack Antonoff's hospital bed.
Bye.
StraightioLab is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network and iHeart Podcasts.
Created and hosted by George Civeris and Sam Taggart.
Executive produced by Will Ferrell, Han Sani, and Olivia Aguilar.
Co-produced by Bei Wang.
Edited and engineered by Adam Avalos.
Artwork by Michael Fales and Matt Grubb.
Theme music by Ben Kling.